If I had to describe Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2 in one word, it would be epic. From the magnificent art design, which is bolstered by a fantastic graphical engine, to the in-depth combat system, this title is sure to be a hit. However, there are a few factors that detract from the experience, such as its boring but brief stealth segments and some awkward platforming. Lords of Shadow 2 follows the story of Gabriel Belmont, also known as Dracula, who is cursed with vampirism and an eternal life. After being allegedly killed by his grandson Simon, Gabriel comes back to life many years later into a modern setting. He is soon afterwards warned by a familiar character, Zobek, that Satan will return once more. Zobek also offered Gabriel a chance to end his immortality, as Gabriel is the only one who can defeat Satan when he comes back. However, as he begins this adventure, he finds his son who was previously killed in a younger state and is summoned back to this time. Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2 will alternate between these two times. The game is mostly a journey to reclaim his powers back and find Satan's apostles. When you first start the game, newcomers and veterans of the Castlevania series alike should appreciate the introductory cutscene which explains the lore of the series in a thorough manner.
That day would come, some 25 years later, for what had once been Gabriel Belmont was now a powerful vampire.
The voice acting is also excellent, with talents such as Robert Carlyle and Patrick Stewart leading the cast of vibrant characters. While the script could sound ridiculous at first, the cast make outstanding performances throughout the game. Overall, the narrative of Lords of Shadow 2 feels grand through its unique characters, outstanding voice actors, and a story that truly feels epic as you play as the powerful Dracula.
But first, you must help me. Prevent Satan's return to the world. Then, I swear to you, I will deliver the fatal blow to your heart myself.
When speaking of the original, many called it a clone of Sony Santa Monica's famous God of War series, but I think Lords of Shadow 2 can stand on its own in terms of its combat system. It is a refinement of the hack and slash genre of gaming, as it adds a sense of strategy to each enemy and especially the boss battles. For example, the Chaos Claws can break through enemy shields and create bombs to throw into them. Plus, there is the Void Shield which freezes victims in place and regains health with each strike of the weapon. Both of these can be used in a non-lethal way, as the Void Sword can freeze water and the Chaos Claws can break through walls with its brute force. You can only use these for a limited time, as there is a meter attached to each weapon except for Dracula's main tool of battle, the Shadow. The meter for both weapons, however, can cause issues, as you may not have enough to use either the Void Sword or the Chaos Claws to solve a puzzle. In result, the player has to restart from a checkpoint. This doesn't happen very often, but it is definitely something to watch out for. Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2 includes a skill tree system for each of these weapons, which progressively unlocks special moves, combos, and utilities to the player during combat. These skills can be unlocked through points you collect through defeating enemies and occasionally fulfilling certain side tasks. Once more, Mercury Steam have added plenty of items to turn the tide of battle in your favour with items, such as giving Dracula health, the power to slow down time around him, or call on the legendary Dracul dragon powers within him. This light RPG element gives plenty of possibilities to the player within combat and truly makes Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2 stand out among the crowd of alleged God of War clones. Despite an engaging combat system, Lords of Shadow 2 quickly drifts off into some dull stealth sections which are complemented by subpar platforming elements. In the stealth segments of the game, Lords of Shadow 2 takes a dive, as these gameplay elements lack in depth and also cause plenty of monotony, as Dracula becomes a rat to scutter around vents so he can circle around a formidable foe. These sections cause the player to get lost as to where to go or what to do, and they feel out of place for this action heavy title. Another aspect of the game which makes me anxious to delve back into the combat is the so-so platforming elements. Overall, these sections are fine as it adds to the large scale of the game's levels and provides access to secret areas that provide collectibles, but the controls lack in responsiveness and animation. It is confusing to the player as to where to jump sometimes. In the game there is an indication as to where to go with bats hovering around a certain platform, but when you can't see the bats due to the camera angle, it is extremely confusing as to where to go. This will lead to Dracula running around like a headless chicken unless you have enough of a keen eye to see where the developers are trying to lead you.
Who are you?
Follow me if you wish to recover your sword.
The art design of this Castlevania game is magnificent if you include the characters, architecture, world, weapons, and even the menus of its book aesthetic. Some of the world design for the modern sections of the game do feel uninspired, with warehouse-like hallways and a bland metal landscape, but these come few and far between.
God is with me, monster.
That will be your ruin.
Overall, Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2 is an exhilarating hack and slash adventure with an in-depth combat system, top-notch production values, and an inspired art design. Despite a sprinkling of some unneeded gameplay elements and some user interface indication issues, this game is definitely worth sinking one's teeth into.
I am Dracul, Prince of Darkness.
We here at Only SP give Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2 an 8 out of 10.
What a timely coincidence. I'm dying for a little drop of blood.